All right, guys, let's get it all started. Cruise ships used to carry about 2,000 passengers, and now ships like Icon of the Seas carry almost eight. And that's between people and guests. So it's just really the question comes
People
down.
and guests? Are guests not people?
Oh, we're starting already. I can feel it. It's going to be a tense night.
Uh,
Travel smarter, not harder.
Guests and crew. Does that make you feel better, my love?
yeah, I'm just making sure.
And by the way, you look very good tonight.
Thank you.
Very good tonight. So I'm Matt from K&M Getaways. This lovely woman sitting across from me is Kat, also from K&M Getaways. The real question is, are these mega ships still cruise ships or are they floating cities?
Let's think about that. You just called it a descriptive of not being a ship, but a floating city. So that's the first clue that they stopped being a ship.
Listen, I am firmly team mega ship on this 100%. There is no doubt because the amount of stuff on these ships is now absolutely insane. So if our channel helps you cruise smarter and spend less, do the YouTube thing. Let us know in the comments below. Hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. Really helps our channel, and make sure you don't miss any stuff that the cruise lines don't exactly advertise. These ships literally have neighborhoods. Neighborhoods.
Where's the HOA meaning?
Central Park, Boardwalk, the Royal Promenade, the pool districts, entertainment zones, the solarium, and the list goes on. La Terraza, just to name something else that we're going to talk about. And you really don't walk around just the ship anymore. You literally walk to different parts of a city.
If I wanted neighborhoods, crowds, traffics, and reservations for most activities, I could stay right here at home in the city. When your cruise ship needs a map and street signs or neighborhoods, I got a little out of hand there.
Let's talk a little bit about entertainment because obviously these mega ships come with massive amounts of entertainment. You've got Broadway musicals, ice skating shows, aqua theater diving shows, comedy clubs, live music. I'm going to be straightforward. I think some of these cruise lines actually have better shows than Las Vegas right now.
But here's the weird thing. You need reservations for all this entertainment most of the time. You're standing in lines. People miss shows because their dinners run late. And if I wanted the shows in Vegas, I would have booked a trip to Vegas. Cruises used to be relaxing. You need a spreadsheet and a schedule and reservations 6 months out to even figure out. It used to be about slowing down, and now it's strategy.
Let's talk about the attractions on these ships because that's where it really goes over the top. We've got surf simulators, zip lines, water parks, rock climbing walls, giant slides. These ships basically a cruise ship mixed with a theme park.
That's great, but how many people actually ride them? You have all these different activities. You have the time slots. You have wind closure, and again, you go back to the lines. Some people are rushing on embarkation days, so they don't can miss the lines. On sea day, you better have strategy again. And so you have half the ship watching the slides and the other half waiting in line and going down them. So you're sitting on the ocean and everyone is waiting to ride a water slide. And if your cruise needs a ride reservation system, that's a theme park.
That's why they call it faster to fun sometimes. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I want to pause for just a second because this is where a lot of people get stuck. One of the most common questions we hear, which cruise line should I actually book? Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, Princess, and a lot of people end up booking the wrong one for their travel style. So if you're trying to figure that out, we actually built a cruise personality quiz. It's linked right in this video. It's completely free, and at the end, it matches you to the cruise line that fits your style the best. That quiz, it'll point you in the right direction. All right, let's get back to the video.
Yeah, again, that's that Express Pass. If you want to go to Disney or Universal or something like that.
But the difference is I get the ocean when I want the ocean, and I get the theme park when I get the theme park.
No, but for me, the whole point of my vacation is having nothing to do. I don't want to deal with the strategy and the reservations and the beating all the lines or standing in the lines for that matter. Vacation, there's something interesting about mega ships. People don't usually talk about energy. They are exciting. There are things that I like about mega ships. They're busy. They can be stimulating, sometimes too much. But your smaller ships, they feel calm, they feel quiet, they're slower and more peaceful. So yes, ships have that entertainment energy. Smaller ships
Okay.
create that vacation energy. And after a stressful year, or most people aren't looking for more stimulation, they're looking for peace. At least I am.
All right. So let's get into something that's totally classic cruising, the food options. And the food options on a mega ship,
Mhm.
typically there's 20 to 30 venues. You've got steakhouses and sushi bars and teppanyaki and Italian, and you've got
Mhm.
barbecue spots and fast casual, sports bars, coffee shops. You could literally eat somewhere different every night for a week.
And with all those restaurants, that doesn't mean more food because you have a variety of different styles of food in the included venues. But with all those additional, let's talk about specialty dining packages, premium restaurants, or
Let's
upselling.
talk about it.
Airlines didn't add restaurants for variety, they added them for their revenue. And when cruise started, the food used to be all included. And now some of the best food is behind a paywall. I don't want 30 restaurants.
Saying that, they still have the specialty dining on the smaller ships, and we're really going to put this
Mhm.
whole theory to the test.